Welcome to the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. Brought to you by West Tennessee Bank, Dynamics Physical Therapy, and Jackson Energy Authority.
And good evening and welcome, and thanks for attending tonight's induction banquet for the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. I'm Tom Bridger, Master of Ceremonies. We have some great inductees who will also be honoring some great high school and collegiate athletes. We have a Hall of Fame speaker, so all in all, I think you're in for a great evening. First, we would like to welcome the Liberty High School Choir to come out. They are going to present our national anthem. If you'll please stand with us, we'll have our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Great job. Dr. Adam Dooley, the senior pastor at Inglewood Baptist Church, will now give our invocation.
Bow with me as we pray. Father, your word says that every good and perfect gift is from above. And Lord, we recognize that the gifts of the athletes we'll honor tonight are from you. As we remember the careers of tonight's inductees, Lord, we thank you for how they used their gifts, and Lord, for how they reflected you while doing so. Lord, for these scholarship recipients, we thank you for their achievements as well. And we pray your continued blessings on them as they use their gifts to live their lives in ways that not only betters themselves, but again, reveals your kingdom on this earth. Father, as we think about your good gifts, we're reminded that the greatest gift you've ever given is your Son, Jesus, in whose name we pray tonight. Amen.
Good evening. Boy, you guys are in for a treat tonight. I have had the honor of getting to sit here and have dinner with Patrick. His family is out here representing them as well. And it is a spectacular gift that God has given us to have him come speak with us tonight as we honor all of our inductees. I want to start first by recognizing any and all past Hall of Fame inductees who are with us this evening. Will you please stand so that we can recognize you? Is that Kristen out there? Did I see you? Okay, ladies that are here in the audience, high school female athletes, we need to represent a little bit better. We love all these gentlemen, but we need the ladies to really produce over the next 5 or 6 years. You need some company out there. I have heard it said, in the game of life, even the 50-yard seats aren't good enough for me. I came to play. Everyone here in this room came to play. They came to celebrate hometown success stories and individuals who didn't just watch, but who've gotten on the field, on the court, and have made a difference. Tonight, we honor individuals who weren't just happy with a seat at the table, who weren't just happy with the 50-yard line seats, but who made a difference through getting involved, through playing the game, whether it started out as a little league t-ball game, went into a high school varsity game, and beyond. They have played that game, and they have played it exceptionally well. Tonight, we honor those who put in the extra sweat equity, the unseen hours. They've worked through pain, played through pain, and they would grind and work while others slept or watched from the sidelines. But we are all called to not just be spectators in this game of life, but to make a difference. On behalf of the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame Board, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for not just buying a table. Thank you for not just being a spectator. Thank you for coming to honor those tonight who have made a lasting impression on sports and a positive impact on Jackson. Students, I challenge you, as you listen tonight, listen with your heart. Listen to the stories. One day you will be at this table. And now, without further ado, let's begin our evening.
All right, thank you, Ann, for those great words to get us started here tonight. Want to recognize the student athletes to begin tonight. We'll begin with the High School Students of the Year, sponsored by West Tennessee Bone and Joint. We start with the Jackson Central Mary Early College High School.
Hi, I'm Dave Pierce. I'm an orthopedic surgeon from West Tennessee Bone and Joint, and very proud to represent our clinic, who's been involved in sports and athletes and the return of athletes to sports for the last 50 years. I would just like to say congratulations tonight to winners. You guys are amazing. I'm very proud of you, and we are very proud at West Tennessee Bone and Joint to be a small part of this. So thank you, and congratulations to all tonight's winners.
And we began, as I said, with the Jackson Central Mary Early College High School. The female athlete of the year is Alexandria Haynes. She played basketball and softball. She averaged 12 points and 2 rebounds per game, was chosen most improved player. She has a 3.1 grade average and received the Alpha Scholar Award. When she graduates from Jackson Central Mary Early College High, she will have her associate degree from Jackson State Community College, and she plans to attend Middle Tennessee State University and study physical therapy. The male athlete of the year is Joshua Heron. He played basketball and averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds and 2 assists. He received the Senior Basketball and Award and Alpha Reservation Scholarship. Heron is president of the Student Government Association and a member of the 4-H. He has a 2.7 grade point average and plans to attend the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. Now to Jackson Central Mary High School, the male athlete of the year is James Hudson. He played football for the Cougars. He was team captain and had 4 interceptions, along with 33 tackles. He also forced the most turnovers. He plans to continue playing football in college or pursue a career in collision repair. Sanae Johnson is the female athlete of the year. She played soccer and basketball. She was captain of the soccer team. She had 10 goals, multiple steals, and 5 block scoring attempts. She has a 3.5 grade point average and plans to attend Middle Tennessee State University on a scholarship, a soccer scholarship, to study pre-physical therapy. From Jackson Christian, Cameron Boyd is the male athlete of the year. Boyd played football with the Eagles, all-time leading rusher with over 3,700 yards. He ranks first in career rushing TDs with 48, second in single-season rushing TDs at 23. Boyd is the first Jackson Christian player with multiple seasons of 20-plus rushing TDs. Last season, he rushed for over 1,800 yards and 24 TDs, averaging 9.3 yards per carry. He was twice named the D2 1A Western Region Offensive Player of the Year and was D2 1A All-State in 2021. He has a 4.38 GPA and plans to play football at Arkansas State. Trinity Brooks is the female athlete of the year. Trinity played basketball and softball. She batted .385 with 30 RBIs, 39 stolen bases, and scored 70 runs. She was Trinity TSCA All-State last season. The past 2 seasons, she was selected All-District, All-Region, and All-Region Tournament. In basketball this season, she averaged 11.1 points per game and 3.9 rebounds. Brooks has a 3.75 grade point average and plans to play softball at Carson Newman University. Moving now to Liberty Technology Magnet School. Liberty Tech's male athlete of the year, Devon Napier Smith. He played basketball and football. He was all-district, all-region, and all-academic in basketball, serving as team captain and being selected the most valuable player last season. He played 5 positions on the football team, passing for 714 yards and 8 touchdowns as quarterback. And we say versatility to this young man. He gained 590 yards and scored 7 TDs as a wide receiver and rushed for 212 yards and 3 TDs at running back. As a defensive back, he made 60 tackles and had 3 quarterback sacks. With a 3.12 GPA, he plans to play football at the University of Memphis. Sydney Cole is Liberty Tech's female athlete of the year. She played volleyball and basketball and was the district player of the year in volleyball and made the 2022 Hub City All-Tournament team in basketball. She averaged 18.6 points per game, 5 rebounds and 3 assists this season. She has a 3.3 grade point average, is a Beta Club member, and plans to attend Union University to study athletic training. Madison High School's male athlete of the year is Brandon Nye. He competed in 4 sports: cross country, soccer, basketball, and track. He ran cross country for 4 years, advancing to state each season and helping win 2 regional championships. He played basketball for 3 years, averaging 9.7 points per game and 2 assists during the season. The past 2 soccer seasons, he scored 37 goals and 27 assists while making All-State, All-Region, and All-District. He was district MVP last season and helped the team reach the state finals. He ranks 3rd in his class with a 4.0 GPA and plans to play soccer at Auburn Montgomery and study accounting. Missy Castro is Madison's female athlete of the year. She played football and tennis and was runner-up in the girls' state tennis doubles the past 2 seasons and all-district both years. She was undefeated in singles play as a junior. In volleyball, she's been all-district 3 years and received all-region tournament honors this season. She scored 2,000 career digs, including 1,000 her senior year. She has a 3.84 GPA and plans to study nursing in college. We move to Northside now, where Kirsten Beard is the female athlete of the year. She played basketball and volleyball and led the Lady Indians basketball team in 5 categories, averaging 9.7 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks. Beard also led in field goal and free throw percentage. She's a 3-time all-district performer. She has a 3.63 grade point average and is a member of Northside's National Honor Society and Student Council. She has not chosen the college she will attend. Also from Northside, the male athlete of the year, Malik Curry. He played basketball for the Indians. He averaged 18.3 points per game, 12.4 rebounds, the double-double there, and 3.1 blocks. He helped lead the team to a 27 record in state appearances last season, was an all-region pick. He is a Basketball Coaches Association, Tennessee, All-State, and All-Tournament in the Hardwood Classic. He has a 2.9 GPA and plans to attend Harding University in Arkansas. Turning now to Sacred Heart Jesus High School, Joanna Veltman is the athlete of the year, the female athlete of the year. She played volleyball 4 years and was the team captain. She averaged 3 kills per game, was honorable mention all-district. She was chosen the school's best defensive player and most valuable player. She has a 4.5 grade point average and plans to attend Tennessee Knoxville. Sam Saya is the male athlete of the year. Sam played soccer for the Knights. He excelled as a ball-recovering midfielder, described as a smart, technical, and detail-focused by the school. He's never missed a training practice and is always willing to help teammates. He has a 4.5 GPA and has not made his college choice. Albany Collins is the female athlete of the year for Southside, playing basketball 4 years for the Indians. She helped the team finish runner-up in the state Class 3A last season. The Hawks were unbeaten and ranked number 1 this season, and we all know what they did, right? Yeah, they won the state tournament. They did. She averaged, let's give them a round of applause. She averaged 15 points, 2.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals, and scored more than 1,100 career points. Described as a leader on and off the court, she has a 3.6 grade point average and plans to attend college on a basketball scholarship. Southside's male athlete of the year, Nicholas Powell. He played football and soccer, a 4-year starter in football. He was team captain last season. He was a 2-time Region 6 4A defensive MVP and the defensive MVP in the West Tennessee All-Star Game. Last season, he had 78 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 5 for sacks, 1 interception, and 3 caused fumbles. On offense, he rushed for 563 yards and 8 TDs. He is also an all-district soccer player, excelling on defense. Powell has a 3.1 GPA and plans to attend college on a football scholarship. Trinity Christian Academy's female athlete of the year is Olivia Lee. She played basketball and soccer, ran track. She also won the D2A Miss Basketball Award last season as a finalist this year. She was also, just as she was in her sophomore season, All-State for 2 years. She had over 2,200 career points, 865 rebounds, and 301 career assists. She was All-State in soccer 2 years and qualified for state on 2 relay teams. Member of TCA's National Honor Society. She has a 3.86 GPA. She plans to attend Union University on a full basketball scholarship. Trace Robertson is TCA's male athlete of the year. He played golf, basketball, tennis, and ran track. He is a 2-time Jackson Sun Male Golfer of the Year and 2-time All-State pick by the Tennessee Sports Writers Association. He placed 3rd in the D2A state tournament this season and 4th last season. He has a 4.56 grade point average and plans to attend Union University on a golf scholarship. From University School of Jackson, Berkeley Pettigrew is the male athlete of the year. He played football and basketball for 4 years. He was football captain the last 2 seasons. and All-State and All-Region in D2A. His senior season, he completed 126 of 192 passes for over 2,100 yards and 35 touchdowns. He rushed for 187 yards and 3 TDs. In his career, he passed for over 3,700 yards and 53 TDs and ran for 478 yards and 7 TDs. He is a mid-infielder and pitcher on the baseball team. He has a 4.28 GPA and plans to attend the University of Mississippi. Morgan English is the female athlete of the year. She competed in soccer and track and field for the Lady Bruins. 3-year team captain in soccer. She's USJ's all-time leading scorer with 208 goals. She's a 4-time All-State pick by both the AP and the coaches poll and is a 3-time Jackson Sun All-West Tennessee Player of the Year. She led USJ to back-to-back championships her junior and senior seasons and scored 19 goals in the TSSAA state playoffs. Morgan was an all-region track and field performer in the 100-meter dash and a long jump last season. She has a 4.3 GPA and plans to play soccer at Mississippi State. Let's give these student athletes a round of applause. Real great group of young athletes there that we're honoring tonight. Now it's time to recognize the 2023 Collegiate Athletes of the Year. From Jackson State Community College, Garrett Bird is the male athlete of the year. Garrett played baseball for the Green Jays, a 6'1" outfielder from Martin. He had a .344 batting average with 45 RBIs, 41 runs, 12 home runs, 6 doubles, and a triple last season. He has a 3.0 grade average. Tia Hyman is Jackson State's female athlete of the year. Tia plays basketball for the school. The 6'1" forward is the nation's leading shot blocker among junior colleges, averaging 5.5 blocks per game. She has 11 blocks against Columbia State this season. This season, she averaged 10 points and 11 rebounds per game and shot 53% from the field. After graduating among the top 10 in her class at Southside High School, she continued her stellar academics at JSCC and will graduate with honors in May. From Lane College, Millie Lambert is the female athlete of the year. Lambert is from Florence, Alabama, and played softball for the Lady Dragons. She was the first-team all-conference after finishing second in the SIAC and 8th in the nation with her .477 batting average. She was second in the conference with on-base percentage of .541, fourth in slugging at .712, and first in triples with 6. She set a Lane record for runs in a season with 51. She was the only player to start all 42 games at Lane and set a record for victories with 26. She has a 3.94 grade point average and will graduate in May with a degree in mass communications. Joshua Bunton is the male athlete of the year. Bunton is a stellar sprinter on the Dragons track team. The junior from Crawfordsville, Arkansas, is Lane's first 2-time NCAA first-team All-American and is qualified for the Team USA Summer Trials. He won the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Championship in the 100-meter dash with a time of 10.43 seconds and placed second in the 200 meters with a 21:04 time. In the NCAA Division II National Track and Field meet, he set a Lane record in the 100 meters with a qualifying time of 10.36. He placed second in the national meet with a 10.45 in the 100 meters and finished fourth in the 200 meters with a 20:52 time. From Union University, Jordan Vick is the female athlete of the year. Jordan's from Camden, and she played volleyball for the Lady Bulldogs and was a four-year starter at the setter position. At 5'8", she finished her career with 3,449 assists, over 1,000 digs, 423 kills, and 109 aces. She set the program record for assists in a career during Union's NCAA Division II era. Among her numerous awards, she was All-Region, a three-time All-Gulf South Conference selection, and a four-time member of the GSC Honor Roll. Vic spent the summer of 2022 representing USA Volleyball, playing in Brazil. She's presently in graduate school at Union and set to earn a master's in education. Tylandrius Ty Parks is Union's Male Athlete of the Year. Ty played basketball for the Bulldogs, a 6'5" guard from Middleton High School. He was a starter since his freshman year at Union and had over 1,500 points, 843 rebounds, 229 assists, 102 steals in his season. In his career, he shot 50% from the field during his career and made 147 three-point shots. He earned numerous awards, including the Bevo Francis Award as one of the top 100 players in his division. He was the NCAA Division II Player of the Year, and the week, rather, in all the Gulf South Conference on the GSC Honor Roll. He is in graduate school at Union and plans to play professional basketball overseas. Let's give these athletes a round of applause. We'll be back after this break with our Distinguished Service Award winner, brought to you by H&M Company Incorporated and William Steele.
Your life, your home,
your business, your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Exercising, being part of a team, walking, playing a game of golf, or just enjoying your hobbies, West Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic keeps you active with locations in Jackson, Paris, Brownsville, Dyersburg, Huntington, Lexington, Martin, Ripley, Savannah, Selmer, Trenton, and Union City, specializing in orthopedic care for adults and children, sports medicine, and interventional pain management. Don't accept life with pain or inactivity. Turn to West Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic, keeping you active.
The Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors presented the first Distinguished Service Award in 1989. In 2014, the award was named in honor and memory of the late Billy Scribner, who was a founding member, board member, and former president of the Sports Hall of Fame Board. Inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame in 1992, Billy Scribner served as a valued advisor and mentor until his passing in 2014. Jimmy Duke, who emceed the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame festivities for 20 years, was selected as the recipient of the 2023 Billy Scribner Distinguished Service Award. Before Jim Frazier, Johnny Growe, Lee Mayhall, Tommy Sadler, and Tim Sikes are inducted this evening, you will see a video highlighting the career of each. Jimmy is the voiceover for each individual, something he continues to do 7 years after retiring as MC. A native Jacksonian, Jimmy worked approximately 37 years at Golden Circle Land Company, but he continues to serve as board chair for local nonprofits, Madison Haywood Developmental Services, Jackson Center for Independent Living, and the Legends of Tennessee Music Museum at the Carnegie. He also finds time to work as an on-air personality for Grace Media Group at News Talk 101.5 FM. It is my pleasure to present the 2023 Billy Scribner Distinguished Service Award to the voice of the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame, Jimmy Duke.
Better be in here. I changed a couple of things. There we go. Thank you, David. I appreciate very much the kind words, and it's always a pleasure to be here with this group of people. It's a great time in my life, the time that I spent with the board, and I appreciate very much being here tonight. Chairperson Kale, thank you for this honor, and the board of the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. I thank you for honoring me as the Billy Scrivener Distinguished Service Award winner for 2023. This award is special in itself, but it's made more special because it is given in honor of Billy Scrivener. Billy was a longtime friend, long before I became a member of this board, and during my time here with the board became even closer. Billy was a friend, obviously. He was a mentor. He was a sounding board. He was a cheerleader when he needed to be. And he was a critic in the best sense of that word. To have my name associated with his is indeed an honor. I have long believed that God places people in our path throughout our lives to encourage us, to guide us, and in a lot of cases to see things in us that we do not or refuse sometimes to see in ourselves. This is the case with me and probably a case with a lot of people in the audience this evening. Sitting at the table with me this evening at the head table is my wife, Judy. She is one of these who fits into all of those categories and many, many more. Come June this year, we will celebrate 51 years of marriage, and thank you. She's a very forgiving lady. She has been my guide. She has been my encourager. She loves me. Figure that. She cares for me. She takes care of me, and most of the time she just tolerates me, which is probably the hardest job she has to do. If I am deserving of any award, it is because of her Christian, positive, loving attitude and her belief in me. Sorry. We've been blessed throughout our lives together with a wonderful, wonderful family. They're seated down here on the end, the first row, and I appreciate them very much being here tonight. They are a big part of what I am and who I am, and I really appreciate them. They bless us on a daily basis. The table there includes my daughter, Julie, my son, Mike, and his wife, Diana. My granddaughters, all three of them are here tonight, Erin and Rachel, and then Addie, along with her husband, Braden. The latest addition to the family obviously got a better deal tonight because she couldn't be here, and that is my great-great-granddaughter, Maddie. She's Addie and Braden's 2-year-old. Now, this is the part, audience participation, where I pause for a moment, and you lean to the person to your left or right, and you say, gee, he doesn't look like he could be old enough to be a great-grandfather. Thank you. I appreciate that. One of the badges I wear proudly, that's for sure. Also seated at my table is my sister-in-law, Billy Duke. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for all you do and all the support you give me. Whether you know you're doing it or not, it's a daily occurrence. A lot of people outside the family who have had a part in encouraging me over the years. It's a fairly long list, and I'm not going to go through all of it, but there are certain people that I need to mention very quickly. 3 in particular who put opportunities in front of me and then helped me to learn the skills that I needed to make those opportunities a reality. First one is Mr. Ken Marston. Ken was the vice president of the Dixie Radio Network back a long time ago. He saw some potential and hired a 17-year-old kid to be a disc jockey at WDXI Radio in 1967. A couple of years later, Tom Mapes took me to the next radio level, taught me the things I needed to know, and introduced me into sports broadcasting at WJAK Radio here in the city. And then a few years later, a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Exum had the crazy idea to televise high school football in Jackson and Madison County. They told him he couldn't do it and made him more apt to do it, and we were able to put that together. Jimmy offered me the play-by-play announcer position. I was a little hesitant, but he talked me into it, and I was pleased to hold that position for 23 years with TRTV and E-Plus TV6. All of those things were the groundwork for doing what I did here with the Sports Hall of Fame. To be honest with you, when Tom Mapes asked me to join the Hall of Fame, I thought I was coming in as just a board member replacing someone who had retired. I wasn't smart enough, or maybe I was just naive, to understand that Tom was actually grooming a replacement. So when he said, you know, I'm going to quit in a couple of years, I want you to take over this. Again, I said, I can't do that. That's not my thing. And he said, yes, you can, and the rest is history, as they say. My wife and I are native Jacksonians. That's kind of rare these days, I think. Over the years, this city and this county have produced for us everything we needed and most everything we wanted in order to build our careers and raise our family. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to live, and we wouldn't have it any other way. 20 years, this podium was my workstation on a night such as this, and I enjoyed every moment of it. A little bit of a side note, if you will. Tom Mapes, I mentioned, Tom was the master of ceremonies for the first 10 years here at the Sports Hall of Fame, and one of the founding members before he turned that job over to me. Tom Britt, seated to my right over here, has that position now. I think it's 7 years, Tom? This is year number 7 for Tom. So I find myself in a very comfortable position between Tom and Tom. I think I'm the middle of a Tom sandwich. But I tell you the truth, knowing these gentlemen for as long as I have, I am honored to be associated with them, these two icons of broadcast in this city. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much. One of the jobs that the MC has to do each year is to remind all of the speakers of their time limits. There is a time limit that they're given before they step to this microphone. Sometimes that goes over pretty well. There were times when it didn't. And fortunately, they had taken up my fork and I couldn't stick them in the leg with it. However, since I was in charge of the time limits then, I think it's only fair that I stick to my own rules tonight. So I'm going to wrap it up at this point. Our 5 new inductees tonight, congratulations to you, gentlemen. You have earned it. And thanks again to the Hall of Fame and the board for this very special recognition. Thank you all, and good night.
Jimmy's got this new mode of transportation, you know, where you only have to use one leg. After a little work on it there, he's going to be good as new, I think, for sure. Thank you, Jimmy. Well-deserved award there. James Kirkland's going to come now, and he has something he wants to really talk with you about. And if you'll listen very closely, I think you're going to find it's very important.
The purpose of the Hall of Fame is to honor, preserve, and perpetuate the names and accomplishments of outstanding athletes and other sports personalities who are native to Madison County. My name is James Kirkland, and I'm a member of the Board of Directors for the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. I've been asked to take a moment to speak to you about very important ways that you can help support our Hall of Fame. First, to further ensure the continued viability of the Hall of Fame, the Board of Directors created the program called the Friends of the Hall. The Friends of the Hall program allows supporters to make an annual contribution to help support the Hall. This year, the Friends of the Hall program has added over $2,000 in income, which will help ensure the success of this year's induction. You can look to page 48 to see the members of the Friends of the Hall this year in your program. If you're interested, please look in your program. There are also envelopes on your tables and more information printed in the program about it. Then secondly, I'd like to draw your attention to page 49 of your program because we really need your help. There you will find an inductee nomination form. And if you know of individuals who meet the qualifications and are deserving of induction into this Hall of Fame, please help us by nominating them. The qualifications for induction are available on page 28. We might need to put that next to the nomination form next year. And if you have questions about the process, please reach out to the Hall or one of the board members. There are other deserving inductees in our community, and we ask for your help in identifying them. Thank you very much for your help. We're going to move into the scholarship portion of our program. The Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame Scholarship Foundation seeks to assist selected Madison County seniors with college expenses. The purpose of the scholarships is to recognize athletes for their academic achievements, community service, and leadership abilities. Special consideration is given to students not receiving other forms of financial aid. Since 2005, the foundation and its partners have awarded more than $148,000 in scholarships, and tonight we will award another $20,000 in scholarships. So first, the Billy and Margie Scribner Scholarship. The Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors sponsors this scholarship in memory of Billy and Marjorie Scribner in honor of their dedication to our organization. Billy spearheaded the Hall's formation and was a Hall of Fame inductee himself, former president and board member. After retiring from the board, Billy served as a valued advisor and mentor until his passing in March of 2014. Bill and Margie demonstrated a passion for the Hall of Fame's mission over the years and dedicated countless hours of their time to promote the recognition of sports excellence in Jackson, Madison County. Tratavius Marsh of Liberty Tech Magnet High School is the recipient of the Billy and Margie Scribner Scholarship. He played golf for the Crusaders and excels as a student leader. He is president of the Student Government Association, a Beta Club member, sings in the choir, and is a yearbook representative. He has a 3.15 GPA and plans to attend Austin Peay State University to pursue a career in agriculture with a concentration in agri-science. Tratavius Marsh.
Hey, good evening. The Jimmy Carey Memorial Scholarship was established by our family to help local student athletes to attend college who have excelled athletically and academically. Jimmy was a 2016 Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame inductee and a 2013 Carroll County Sports Hall of Fame inductee. As a former Jackson State Community College player, he was awarded the Male Athlete of the Year in 1991. While playing baseball at UTM, Jimmy was named the 1992 Gulf Coast Conference Player of the Year and was team captain in 93 and 94. As head baseball coach at USJ from 1996 to 2003, Jimmy's teams won 3 state championships. As a result, he was awarded the Class A Coach of the Year each time. When Jimmy left USJ in 2003, he continued coaching our boys and other young boys through travel ball and continued giving hitting lessons to many young athletes across West Tennessee. Jimmy had a true passion for coaching and teaching. This year's recipient of the scholarship is Stella Spencer. Stella Spencer of University School of Jackson is the recipient of the Jimmy Carey Memorial Scholarship. She played soccer, basketball, and tennis for the Lady Bruins. She was all-district in basketball, but she excelled in soccer 4 years and helped USJ win 2 state championships. She was all-region, all-West State, and earned all-state honors in 3 different seasons. She has a 3.88 grade point average and plans to attend the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. Stella Spencer.
I'm Pam McCarty, and Mike and I, and the board of the Morgan McCarty Scholarship Foundation, are proud to announce a scholarship winner for the Jackson Sports Hall of Fame 2023 to Megan Hicks. Megan is a senior at Madison Academic High School and played tennis there for all 4 years. Her team was Division I district champs, regional champions for 2021 and 22, and state semifinalists for 2021. Megan is an Artistic Youth Honoree, Miss Jackson Juneteenth 2022, Jackson Chamber Leadership University Class of 2022, Madison County Healthy Living Ambassador, Jackson Symphony League Ambassador, Ballet Arts for 7 years, Young Life member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, so she's a busy girl. Megan will attend Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia this fall in Strategic Communications. Congratulations.
The R. Bradley Hancock Award is given annually by the Board of Directors of the Hall of Fame as a memorial to former board member Brad Hancock. Brad's legacy is a testament to his life and the good works that he did. He was instrumental in starting the Scholarship Foundation, so it's only fitting that an award bears his name.
Kyle Korth of Madison Academic Magnet High School is the recipient of the R. Bradley Hancock Award. He played soccer and basketball and ran cross country for the Mustangs. He was a state qualifier 4 years in cross country and was region champion twice. He was all-district in basketball the past 2 seasons and served as team captain this season. He is a 4-year starter on the soccer team, which was state runner-up last season when he was co-captain, all-state, all-region, and all-district. He has a 4.0 GPA, a 32 ACT score, and ranks 8th in his class of 95. He plans to attend the University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
The Richard Ross Scholarship honors the memory of the late Richard Ross, who was a Hall of Fame inductee in 1993. He was the head football coach at Jackson High School and Jackson Central Mary High School from 1966 until 1985. He passed away in 1993 after a long battle with cancer. The scholarship was established shortly after to help athletes with their college costs. Braden Nye of Madison Academic Magnet High School is the recipient of the Richard Ross Scholarship. A 4-sport athlete for the Mustangs, he ran cross country 4 seasons and advanced to state each year. He also played basketball and soccer and ran track. He was all-state in his soccer, his sophomore and junior seasons, and competed in the state track meet. He has a 4.0 GPA, an ACT score of 33, and ranks 3rd in a class of 95. He plans to attend Auburn University at Montgomery. Mr. Braden Nye.
I'm Dr. Keith Nord from Sports Orthopedics and Spine, and I represent our doctors who would like to honor these athletes with special gifts and scholarships. The first one, it's the Scholar Athlete Award, and that's for an athlete who's excelled in their athletic endeavors as well as their scholastic achievements while a Jackson-Madison County student. This athlete is recognized by the guidance counselors and coaches, and then funding by the docs from Sports Orthopedic and Spine. That recipient, our scholar athlete, is Amelia Gehring of Trinity Christian Academy. She played soccer and basketball, ran track all 4 years at TCA, serving as captain of the soccer and basketball teams, all district and all region. Selected the last 3 seasons in basketball. She was also placed at this track at the state track meets. Amelia ranks first in her class of 42 with a 4.76 GPA. With offers to play college basketball, she is signed to play soccer at Union University. Congratulations, Amelia. And we have a trophy for her. And we've been doing this award for more than 15 years, and we keep a larger version of that with their names on it at the office. Our next scholarship is given to Kristen Beard of Northside High School. She played basketball and volleyball. As a three-time all-district performer, she led the Lady Indians basketball team as the team's Defensive Player of the Year. She has a 3.63 grade point average and ranked 12th in her graduating class of 192. She's a member of Northside's National Honor Society and Student Council. She has not chosen the college she will attend. Congratulations, Kirsten. The next scholarship for the sports orthopedics and spine athlete goes to Ava Cox of Sacred Heart of Jesus High School. She is a four-year starter on the soccer team and was captain the last 2 seasons. She's involved in numerous high school activities, enjoys participating in chorus and theater production, and is student body president. She ranks first in her class with a 4.68 grade point average. She plans to attend Wofford College on a music scholarship. And just one other little tidbit that I noticed when I was reading up about Patrick is that he actually won a Scholar Athlete Award from the National Football Foundation. And congratulations. Thanks.
Good evening. The Terry Moore Memorial Scholarship aims to continue the legacy of my husband, Terry Moore, and his desire for young athletes to succeed in sports and life. Many knew him as an umpire-in-chief of the Jackson Sportsplex, some as a coach, others as a teammate, many as a friend. Moore's legacy of dedication, humble service, and mentorship carries through decades of building successful youth and community sports programs in West Tennessee. Terry was an avid volleyball player and later an official TSSAA, middle school, high school. Terry's passion for sports was endless, thriving in his role as umpire-in-chief. Terry held that position from the opening of the Sportsplex in 2006 until April 17th, 2018. I'm very proud to announce the winner of the scholarship, Elena Perry of Trinity Christian Academy. She is the recipient of the Terry Moore Memorial Scholarship. She ran cross country and played softball for the Lady Lions, where she earned all district honors. She has a 4.58 weighted grade point average and ranks 5th in her graduating class. Recommending Elena, Vicki DeBerry of TCA writes, Elena is a burst of energy. She works very hard to make sure she'll achieve and surpass her own personal goals. Elena plans to attend Union University. Thank you.
The Van and Louise Thompson Scholarship honors the memory of Van and Louise Thompson. Van is a Hall of Fame inductee and former Jackson High School multi-athlete star. He played tailback on 2 national championship football teams at the University of Tennessee in the 1930s and 1940s, when the Volunteers went to the Orange, Rose, and Sugar Bowls. Louise was also a UT graduate and taught school in Jackson for more than 25 years. This year, the Thompson Scholarship will total $12,000 and be awarded $3,000 per year for 4 years. Cooper Moss of Southside High School is a recipient of this year's Van and Louise Thompson Scholarship. He played baseball and golf 4 years for the Hawks. A member of the Beta Club and FFA, he ranks 11th out of 174 in his senior class with a 3.89 GPA and won Southside's Heisman Scholarship competition. As a sophomore, he started a landscaping business and lawn care business that has blossomed. He plans to attend UT Martin and major in golf course science, landscape architecture. Mr. Cooper Moss.
Good evening. I'm here to present the Will Piva House Scholarship Award. This fund was established by his family as a way to honor his memory, and his legacy lives on through the scholarship program and its mission to assist young athletes with their college expenses. We are pleased to announce Maddox Rabin of University School of Jackson as the recipient. He played both baseball and football 4 years for the Bruins, earned honorable mention all-region honors as a defensive lineman on the football team last season, and he was first team all-district USJ's most improved player on the baseball team last spring. Rabin has a 3.65 GPA and plans to attend the University of Arkansas. We're pleased to present this to Rabin, who is unable to attend tonight because he's playing baseball. So, thank you.
Let's give all these scholarship recipients another round of applause. Our speaker of the evening, a West Tennessean and NFL great and Hall of Famer in college, will be up next right after this break.
Exercising, being part of a team, walking, playing a game of golf, or just enjoying your hobbies, West Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic keeps you active with locations in Jackson, Paris, Brownsville, Dyersburg, Huntington, Lexington, Martin, Ripley, Savannah, Selmer, Trenton, and Union City, specializing in orthopedic care for adults and children, sports medicine, and interventional pain management. Don't accept life with pain or inactivity. Turn to West Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic, keeping you active.
Tired of internet that leaves you waiting and monitoring your usage with extra fees? Switch to E+ Broadband from the Jackson Energy Authority for fiber optic internet with the fastest speeds to keep everyone connected. Enjoy being online as much as you want without worrying about extra fees or data usage limits. Perfect for when you need to download and upload large files, stream videos, or use your favorite video conferencing app. E+ Broadband, fastest internet, no data caps, no slowdowns, no worries.
Your life, your home,
Your business. Your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Looking back on it, on how I got to where I am, I don't know if it was because I was running towards something or running away from it. But that didn't matter. What I did know is, when you run into something bigger, something meaner, something with the power to knock you down, you have to trust in yourself. Trust that you can get back up. and not give in. Ever. Because power isn't just about going forward. It's about not letting anything hold you back. You find that in yourself. You can go anywhere you want.
Dog on the field. Man, I have enjoyed watching this guy's career, and it's an honor to present him tonight. Thank you all for being here. My name is Heath Ladd. I'm the co-founder of Dynamics Physical Therapy. We're proud to be the leader in sports medicine and performance for schools in Jackson and throughout West Tennessee as well. It's an honor to introduce Patrick Willis as tonight's guest speaker. Patrick is considered to be one of the greatest linebackers in NFL history with the San Francisco 49ers. A native of Brewston, Tennessee, he was a two-time All-State football player and dominant athlete at Hollow Rock Brewston Central High School. Patrick went on to play college football at Ole Miss before he was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers in the first round of the 2007 NFL Draft. He played 8 years with the 49ers and was awarded multiple accolades in philanthropic outreach programs and on-the-field performance, including the 2007 Associated Press NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, 7-time Pro Bowl selection, and Butkus Award winner as the league's top linebacker. Patrick has been inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame and the 49ers Hall of Fame. Most recently, in 2021 and 2022, Patrick was named a Pro Football Hall of Fame finalist. Please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Patrick Willis.
Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful night this has been. Heath, Dynamic Physical Sports, thank you all for having me here. The Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame, thank you all for having me here tonight. This has been beautiful. To all the high school and college athletes, congrats to each of you. Very special in what you all have done. Everyone, my name is Patrick Willis, and I am humbled to be here tonight. I have my sister in the crowd. I have my nieces. I have one of my cousins here, Miss Patty, special. Judge Allen, thank you. Judge Allen is one that I spoke to about coming here tonight. At first I was a little nervous, still a little nervous now. I feel like I'm playing a football game, but I'm honored to be here tonight. I grew up about 45 minutes from here in a little small town. I like to call it, it's called Smyrna, right outside of Huntington. It was my village. And right down the road from there, I went to school at Brewston Central High School, one of the best 1A football schools I like to think in West Tennessee. Shout out to one of my coaches who's here in the house tonight. It's been a while since I've seen him, Coach Jackie McGee. Honor. Oh, wait, I see Marco Kell here too. That's awesome. When I was in high school, I remember playing against the Jackson private schools, and my goodness, competition like no other. Watching the Brewston greats, I call them, Joe Longmire, Jamie Williams, Gerard King, play the Jackson schools when I was in elementary and middle school. I would watch their highlights every chance I got. And I wanted to bring a championship to Brewston, just like they did in the class of '89. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that, particularly to a school here in Jackson that I won't say the name, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. I want to thank you all for having me here. I enjoy when I get a chance to come home and see new and old faces, family, and friends. Tonight, I would like to talk to you about vision in life, about your vision, and how to go about it. First of all, let's ask this question: what is vision? Vision, as I've come to understand it, is the ability to see beyond your circumstances. It's the ability to see beyond where you are right now. Growing up, times were tough. My outlets to get through the hard times were sports: baseball, basketball, and football. I like to think I was pretty decent in all three because I worked really, really hard. And I was grateful to have some amazing people along the way, starting with my uncles, who I competed with every second that I got. And one of those uncles is here right now, and we went at it every chance we got. When I was on the field, it was my playground. Whatever was going on, I could take my frustrations and joy out on the other team. I had a vision, and each day I put in the work to make sure I was heading towards my vision. My dad once said that if you want it, son, you have to earn it. No one is going to give it to you. My vision directed my path. Day in and day out, I could have made 1,000 excuses why not to do this or do that. Many things could have gotten in the way of my vision. I could have gotten down on myself, made every excuse many times, but I didn't. I stayed true to the vision. One that sticks out in my mind is 1999. It was freshman year. We was playing against Moore County. I never forget, that was a big deal. My first year in high school football, I had been waiting forever to get this opportunity to play high school football. It was like Friday Night Lights for me. I never forget, I was on kickoff, and now coming from high school, and I'm sure some of you athletes know what I'm talking about, when you were the absolute man or person at your position, and now you get into high school and you barely getting the ball. And so I wanted the ball so bad, and it was granted that day, that night. The ball was kicked to me, and we are in one of the biggest games I played in, and I dropped the ball. My goodness. You know, you never want to make that mistake or make a mistake in general, especially let down your coaches and your teammates and all the fans who are watching. I'll never forget being down on myself, wanting to have a chance to redeem myself, but not sure if I would be able to get a chance to get in and play, because being a freshman, you know, I was primarily playing on special teams and just doing my part. And out of nowhere, Coach McGee, who ironically is here tonight, he calls me up and he says, Patrick, son, I want you to go in and play middle linebacker. I won't tell you the person's name who he told me to go get out, but I don't know if y'all know it or not, but he's quiet these days. But at one point in time, Coach McGee, I like to say thank you, because he really helped prepare me for my college coaches and NFL coaches. He put me in there, and I went back out there, and I redeemed myself. Had a pretty good play, had plays. And I tell you that story to tell you this. In life, things will happen. Things are going to happen that will appear not in your favor. But keep the faith and fight the good fight. Wherever there's a will, there's a way. Another circumstance that I think back on that really catapulted me was I really wanted to go to UT, University School of Tennessee, the Vols. And I never forget, and this is to you all who are listening tonight, you scholar athletes who will be going on to the next level. I thought in order to go to the NFL, because that's my destination, that I had to go play at this one school that I knew a lot of athletes went to. And I was trying to show them, I was going up there, it's 5 hours from the house. My guardian dad at the time, Chris, he was taking me back and forth. And I'll never forget, I went up to the coach, and my dad always said, if you close mouth, don't get fed. So when nobody was talking to me, I've been, balling out on Fridays. And I went up to the coach, and I said, man, coach, what's going on? How come nobody's not talking to me? Like, I'm running touchdown, making tackles, what more do I got to do? And he said to me, we're recruiting 2 other linebackers. One of the linebackers, RIP, he went to school up here at Jacksonville Central Mary, I believe, Daniel Brooks, heck of an athlete, and Ernie Sims, who was out of Florida. And I remember, just feeling to myself, I'm like, okay, they are decent guys, but man, y'all don't know my heart. Y'all don't know how hard I go after it, how much I put into this. I never forget just feeling devastated. And he said, we don't know if you're gonna make your ACT scores, and we just recruiting other guys. And so I said, okay. So 5 hours on the way home, I'm pretty much in tears. Not because, I'm sad. No, I am sad, but not because I didn't have confidence in myself, but because, just being told that you're not good enough when you put forth all your effort. And I never forget my guardian dad at the time, he said, why don't you wipe up those tears, and why don't you go play at a school that plays against them and show them everything that they miss. I said, right then and there, it clicked. I said, that's what I'm going to do. But the only thing wasn't many schools interested. I was a 3-star, not many schools interested. I think Memphis, maybe some NAIA schools. And out of nowhere, no schools are interested. So out of nowhere, I remember going back home, and I'm saying to myself, like, all right, what's going to happen? And out of nowhere, Ole Miss pops up. And I'll never forget, it was the best thing that happened to me when I look back. I didn't understand then. So the moral of that story to you all is don't get caught up in those big schools. If you got it, they will find you. I didn't understand then that God had different plans for me, but he did. As I look back on it now, I'm glad I trusted his process and not my own. I worked hard, stayed focused on my vision, kept the faith, and allowed my mind and body to do the work. Colossians 3:23-24 says, whatever you do, whatever kind of work you are doing, work heartily with all your heart in all the different ways that plays out in Scripture and Christ-like character, with honesty, with due diligence, with integrity, with humility. And I did that. And when I look back on it now, I'm a testimony to that. So now, this is where it gets fun. Earlier, I talked about vision. I want to ask every one of you to do me a favor. Close your eyes for me, please, just for a moment, and just listen to my voice. Remember earlier I said, vision is the ability to see beyond what's in front of you. Vision is the ability to see beyond your circumstances, your sight. So right now, as you sit where you sit, look into the dark, because that's the vision. Sight is when you open your eyes and you see what's in front of you. Vision is when you close your eyes and you're not using your 2 eyes, but you're still able to see where you want to go. It's like a painter, for instance. It's like a painter, a blind painter, and or a writer. They can't see what's on the paper, but yet they are still able to write. That's because they have vision, and that's what vision is. That's what it takes when times are tough and circumstances seem to put in doubt. And as athletes, I'm telling you, there's doubts all the time. If you don't, you all may open your eyes now. I'm sorry. That was just a little something that I learned, a little exercise. If you don't know excuse me. If you didn't know your vision, excuse me, if you do not, here we go. If you do not know your vision, stay focused and talk to God. Once you have a clear vision, the next step is to put in the work. Dave Ramsey once said, Dave Ramsey, I'll be learning my financial literacy, by the way, y'all. That's important. Dave Ramsey once said, you can't just stare at the ground with a vision that corn is going to grow and expect it to grow. No, that's not going to happen. You have to put in the work that will make the corn grow. Plant the seed, tend to the plant, then your corn will grow. That's Hebrews 11:1 for me. Faith is the confidence of assurance that what we hope for that is not seen will happen. And so when you work with that. So figure out your vision, work hard as you can, as hard as you think you can, and then work a little harder. You will have tough times, just like I did, but they do not last. You have to focus on how bad you want it and how you have to see, you have to focus on how bad you want it, and you have to see beyond the current circumstances and look at your vision for the future. The late Zig Ziglar once said, it's your attitude, not your aptitude, that determines your altitude. Let me say that again. It is your attitude, not your aptitude, that will determine your altitude. So, to all in attendance, my friends, families, know that you are tough and equipped. Tough people working with the will of God will conquer and overcome their negative encounters. Let your passions and your visions drive straight through the tough times. You are a winner, and you will achieve whatever you thought of when you close your eyes. If you work, focus on God, and allow your vision to drive you. Remember these three things. Purpose. Purpose powers the mind. Purpose is your why. Vision drives the body. Remember, vision is the ability to see beyond your now. And passion fuels the soul. Passion is loving what you do so much that it sets you on fire. It sets you on fire and you're willing to pass it on to the next. Again, congrats to all the inductees, winners of the scholarships, and a special thank you to the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame and the board, as well as Heath and Dynamics Physical Therapy. Thank y'all. Oh, one last thing. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things in Christ who strengthens me. It's been an honor to speak before you all tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick, for those inspiring words and instructive words about life. Our 2023 Hall of Fame inductions will be coming up next.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Your life. Your home.
your business, your future.
Focusing on you, West Tennessee Bank strives to serve its clients in every season of life. With vast experience in personal and business banking, we take pride in guiding you through significant events. At West Tennessee Bank, we help you realize your dreams.
West Tennessee Bank is a division of Decatur County Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. West Tennessee Bank, focused on you.
Exercising, being part of a team, walking, playing a game of golf, or just enjoying your hobbies, West Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic keeps you active with locations in Jackson, Paris, Brownsville, Dyersburg, Huntington, Lexington, Martin, Ripley, Savannah, Selmer, Trenton, and Union City, specializing in orthopedic care for adults and children, sports medicine, and interventional pain management. Don't accept life with pain or inactivity. Turn to West Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic, keeping you active.
Time now to meet our inductees for the 2023 class here for the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. First, let's meet football coach Jim Frazier. Take a look.
Jim Frazier, a Brownsville native, is honored for his accomplishments as a football coach in Jackson, primarily for fielding championship junior high teams. He had a 32-0 record at Northside Junior High and an overall record of 102-15 at 3 schools, 87% wins. He was a 3-sport athlete at Haywood High School in Brownsville, graduating in 1963. He played football for coaches John Hooper and Richard Ross and received the Masonic Award for being the school's outstanding senior athlete. Frazier attended Union University in Jackson. He earned a bachelor's degree in biology and physical education at Union in 1967 and added a Master of Education in Administration and Supervision at Memphis State University in 1973. His first coaching job was at Fayette County High School in Somerville as an assistant to Jim Poteet. Frazier helped with the varsity football team, coached the freshman linemen, was head track and field coach, and head football coach for grades 7 and 8, posting a 4-1 record. Before the next school year in 1968-69, Frazier got a call from coaches Turi Oman and Richard Ross in Jackson, offering him a position as assistant football coach and boys track coach at Tigert Junior High. I've always been so thankful to Coach Oman and Coach Ross, Frazier said. They gave me a chance, and things progressed from there. I moved to Jackson and built a career. He helped Don Williams at Tigert 3 years before being offered the head coaching position at the new Parkway Junior High, which had no football team. He organized, equipped, and coached the Parkway team for 11 seasons. His teams had a 66-14 record, were unbeaten 3 years, and won 8 city championships. He also organized and coached Parkway's first tennis team and was the head boys track coach. We had a great bunch of kids to work with and very few problems with them. We had a 7-1 record the first season and beat Tigert in overtime our 3rd year to get our first unbeaten season in 1973. In 1982, Frazier moved to Northside Junior High as head football coach and put together 4 consecutive unbeaten seasons. The 32-0 record was believed to be the state record at the time for junior high teams. In 1986, Frazier shifted to an administrative role as assistant principal at Northside High School. He also helped coach football and track and organized a softball team. He moved to Haywood High School as an assistant football coach in 1990 and held different administrative roles. When he retired in 2012, he was athletic director at Haywood High and director at Anderson Early Childhood Center in Brownsville. Frazier and his wife Judy have been married for 56 years. They have a son, Butch, 5 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. I'm so thankful for everybody who tried to help me along the way, Frazier said. I appreciate every one of them. Please welcome 2023 inductee, Jim Frazier.
When I first got word about this special honor, I was overwhelmed. I was speechless. My wife said, "Boy, that's a first." Whenever have you been speechless? To be a recipient of this award has been a truly humbling experience for me. You see, it's not about me. It's about all those who helped me personally and professionally over the years. I want to send a special thanks to the Board of Directors of the Hall of Fame, not just for this honor, but for the time and the effort put forth to make this event happen each year. I want to recognize my parents, long deceased, but they gave me every opportunity to participate in whatever I chose, from band to athletics, scouting, church, swimming and water safety. I was never pressured. They just encouraged me to try to be the best I could be, whatever the activity. Also, my wife, Judy, for 56 years, has been my biggest booster. My son, Butch, our late daughter, Beth, too, were always there for me in good times and tough times as well. I've given 44 years of my life to public education in West Tennessee. I've worked in 4 different systems and 8 different schools. During those years, I've worn many hats, as they say. Jim Poteet used to say real often, I've been everything from janitor right on down to principal. And that certainly fits me in my career. I've also been fortunate to know and work with some of the finest teachers, coaches, administrators, and sports officials anywhere. I wish I could recognize all of them, but there's not enough time. And I might omit somebody, and that wouldn't be right. There are so many that made a difference and impacted my life personally and professionally, and I love and appreciate you all. There are a lot of them right here in this room tonight. There are others that are deceased, but I do love them all. Last but not least, to all the young men and women student athletes that I was privileged to work with in the classroom, on the court, and on the field, I'm eternally grateful. If it weren't for you, I'd never have experienced what in coaching, especially, as Coach Richard Ross said, the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Fortunately, there were more highs than lows. There's a quote that I hope that fits me in my life and work. A teacher or coach's worth isn't measured in the successes versus failures, or a one-loss record, or the number of pages in a resume, but in the impact made in the lives of students and athletes. I wanted my students and athletes to see that through personal responsibility, hard work, dedication, and pride, they could be winners, not only in the classroom and athletics, but in life. Today, when I come in contact with a former student or an athlete, and they call me coach, or they say, "Coach, you meant so much to me and made me a better person," I think it's the greatest compliments I could ever receive. I'm truly humbled and grateful for this honor. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you, Coach. And it was gratifying before the program started to see how many of his former players came up and said something to him. That's always inspiration to see that. Our next inductee had over 700 wins on the baseball diamond. Let's meet Johnny Growe.
Johnny Growe is honored primarily for his 702 victories as a high school baseball coach at Jackson Southside, Trinity Christian Academy, and Greenfield. Inducted into the Tennessee Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2022, he has a 702 and 422 record entering the 2003 baseball season. That's a winning percentage of .625. He spent 29 seasons as head coach at Southside High School, where his teams won 600 games. They won 10 district championships, 6 regional crowns, and 4 sub-state sectional titles. The Hawks were runner-up in the 2003 Class AA state tournament. Johnny finished the 6th grade at Whitehall Elementary School in Jackson and attended Northside Junior and Senior High Schools, graduating in 1976. He played football and baseball 3 years and basketball 1 year in high school and was an all-conference wide receiver his senior football season. He played outfield and third base on the baseball teams and batted over .300 his sophomore and senior seasons. As a junior, he was a leadoff hitter and batted over .400. He also played American Legion baseball. Growe attended college at Jackson State and Austin Peay before earning a bachelor's degree in business at Union University in 1980. He added his teaching certificate in '81. He was a student assistant baseball coach at Northside High for Bud Sikes in 1981. He was hired that fall at Southside Junior High as a teacher and assistant football coach. In 1983, Growe moved to Southside High as a teacher and assistant football coach and continued to help coach rushing with baseball. Growe became a head baseball coach at Southside in 1985. He also started the softball program and coached football, golf, basketball, and cross country. Under Growe, Southside advanced to 4 state baseball tournaments, finishing third in 1998, second in 2003, when Growe was named the Jackson Sun Coach of the Year. He was also the TSSAA Class AA Coach of the Year that same season. 2 of his Southside teams won 30 games, and the 2005 team won 21 consecutive games. I had good people and good kids who liked to play baseball, Growe said. We really had a good blend of young and old players in those years, so we did well. His last victory at Southside was win number 600. Growe, 64, picked up his 700th victory last season at Greenfield High School. This will be his 5th season as head coach of the Jackets after coaching Trinity for 4 years. My one and only unbeaten baseball season was at Greenfield, Growe said, laughing. We were 2-0 in the 2020 season before the COVID pandemic ended that season. Growe met his bride in high school and began dating her his senior year. They were married in 1979. My 2 greatest lifetime achievements are my acceptance of Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior and my 43-year marriage to my beautiful Rita. She has been my greatest booster. Please welcome 2023 inductee, Johnny Growe.
That'd be worth something later. I don't get this nervous that often, but I don't really have to speak that often either. So usually it's just kind of wave my arms like this right here and just people keep running around me. I wanted to say something before I ever got started. I had a video that was comparable to Patrick's, me running without my shirt and all, but I just felt like it was too close to a mealtime that it would need to be something that was probably a little bit more, I don't know, appropriate is the word that comes to mind. I'm grateful to all those that nominated me, the board members that voted for me, for all the individuals who put time and effort, used their talents to make this just really a spectacular presentation and production. But most of my thanks needs to go to my Creator, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without Him, none of this would be possible anyway. He's blessed me for over 40 years to do something that gives me great joy, great purpose, and I really feel like it's been my calling. His greatest blessing in this life, though, has been my wife, Rita, my beautiful bride. She's been my rock, my confidant, my soulmate, the love of my life. Without her, none of this would have meaning anyway. Thank you. I've also been blessed to have many friends over the years that they just became lifelong friends. They were people that might have been colleagues, they might have been players, teammates, fellow coaches, or just people that knew me from back in the day. All those people became lifelong friends, and I was able to count on them in any regard. A lot of those people are present tonight. I was told not to try to name all of them, but I can point to several of the ones that were very involved in kind of getting me to where I am now. And I appreciate all the effort, the support that they gave me over the years. I'm very indebted to other people. I'm very indebted to my in-laws, Harold and Nancy Skinner. They gave me Rita. I'm kind of indebted to my parents, John and Linda Growe. They gave y'all me. And I'm not sure who got the better end of the deal, but I'm still glad that process occurred. I was very blessed early on to be around great men who coached me in the junior high and high school levels. Johnny Williams, O'Neal Henley, Bud Sikes, Eddie Hayes, George Neely. Those were all men of integrity, men that instilled in me the values of hard work and discipline. And to this day, when I hear the term coach, I think of them, and I think of it with respect and admiration. They were very significant in my life. That goes on into the college ranks, not as much as coaches, but there are people that watched over me that were assigned from above, and I know they were because of the way that they helped me out. I was kind of wrestling with whether or not to go ahead and go into the business world because I'd graduated with a business degree or go back and get my teaching endorsement. And when I was about ready to drop out to stop the educational process, Drs. Bob Agee and Dr. Pat Taylor called me in their office one day and told me I needed to follow my heart, and they encouraged me to go to the dream that I'd always had about being a coach. And they were significant. I kind of wish they'd give me some money also, but they were very, they really got me going back in the right avenue, the right way I should have gone. Early on, I had great mentors that coached me, that I was coaching for, that I was their assistant. The late Bobby Wilson, who was a legendary coach in West Tennessee. He was more than just a coach to so many people. Every person that he dealt with, player that he dealt with, he always put the individual first and the player second. I was around a baseball guru, one who was a great baseball coach and instructor of baseball and still is. Andy Rushing helped me with coaching philosophies, with baseball strategies, and just helped to instill and help me cultivate and maintain a love of the game. I not only learned from the people that were supposed to be my bosses, but I also learned from the people who were my assistants. Most of the assistants I had brought more to the table than I did. They were more valuable to the program than I was, more valuable to the kids that were around us than I was, and I learned so much from them. One of the ones that early on, the first coach I had coached with me for 13 years, Rusty Carson, was a player while I coached. He was a teammate on rec leagues. He was my assistant for 13 years, and he and his family are still significantly important to our lives now. Jeff Wyatt, one of the best baseball players that I coached ever, and in the 90s he played for me. In the 2000s, he was my assistant, and he's still currently the head baseball coach at Southside. That is a pretty good program in West Tennessee. I was at Trinity for 4 years, and during that time, Robert Kraft, a godly man who was my most loyal and dependable coach while I was there, still count on him as a friend. And there was another one, Chris Clark, who was only my assistant for 1 year, but during that 1 year, I just learned, I guess kind of how they did stuff back in Indiana was more what I learned, but it was still one of those things that to this day we're still close friends because we meet and we talk about baseball. He's a head baseball coach at Madison. So we talk baseball on a regular basis. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my current employers. Greenfield Community, Greenfield School, 5 years ago hired me to come there and coach the baseball team. And at first it was to do high school half a day and coach the other half. They asked me what they could do to keep me coming, and I said move Greenfield closer to Jackson. They couldn't do that, but they came up with a better idea. I actually, for the last 4 years, I have taught elementary computer lab. I had a flip phone until last year. So teaching computer lab to the fifth graders to the kindergartners was a little bit different. But it's still one of those things that has been great because they encourage me every day I show up. I had a lot of stories I was going to tell you, but the only one that is really stands out in my mind all the time is going back to when I first started. Is back in the spring of 1981. I was doing my student teaching at Northside Junior High. My supervising teacher was Eddie Hayes. He was a ninth grade teacher, and in the mornings I would teach ninth grade general business and ninth grade general math. In the afternoons, I'd walk across the parking lot to help my high school baseball coach, Bud Sikes, with Northside's baseball team. Typically, on practice days, I would hit fungos or throw some batting practice, and on game days, I would coach first base. A few weeks into the season, we were playing one of our biggest rivals, Southside, and the Northside Southside rivalry. It wasn't as great in baseball as it was in football, but it was still pretty big. I don't remember a whole lot about the first game other than Northside beat Southside, so I was kind of happy for that. In between games, we had the pregame conference, and as I'm just kind of watching from a distance, home plate umpire Carlos Spencer and Coach Sikes, Bud Sikes, get into an argument. And the argument lasts probably about 15 seconds, and then Carlo ejects Coach Sikes before the game ever starts. As Coach is walking off the field, he hands me the lineup and says, I need to go conclude the pregame meeting since he got ejected before it was finished. As I get close to home plate, Andy Rushing, Southside's coach, starts complaining that I can't coach in the game because I'm not in uniform. I was wearing a flannel shirt and jeans just like I had every day up until that point. And Carlos just said to Andy, he said, that's what he wore in the first game, and you didn't mind. I don't mind if he wears it in the second game. Well, Andy kind of kicked some dirt, but he accepted that. I don't remember a whole lot about it except the end. After that, Tommy Shelton came up with the bases loaded, game all tied up in the bottom of the seventh, asked me if I wanted to squeeze, and I said, no, just go knock the snot out of it. And he did, and we won the game. You'd have thought we'd won the World Series. The next day, as I walk into practice, Coach Sikes had a neatly folded stack of clothes, and it was a uniform, and he said, handed it to me, just said, just in case. I remember that time fondly, and to this day, I don't know if they conspired to do it. Andy and Bud and Carlo, if they all got together and decided to do that just to help me out, or if they just thought that would be kind of funny. In either event, it's one of the most memorable moments I had of my early coaching career, provided me with my first game as a head coach and my first win. Over 4 decades, I've had the opportunity to be around some of the best student athletes in the world. I've coached them, mentored them, learned from them in baseball, football, boys and girls basketball, softball, golf, and cross country, and in the classrooms. And in all these cases, all these people made this life a lot better. It's something that I thank God for every day, because they have been friends forever since then. I thank God every day for that, and I thank y'all tonight, my colleagues, my peers, my friends, for this great honor for me and Rita. Thank you.
Our next inductee went away with a scholarship on football and was almost last on the depth chart, I understand from reading his bio here. And among 30 receivers when he arrived at UNA, University of North Alabama, but he wound up starting the last 4 games his freshman season and was then awarded a full scholarship. Let's meet Lee Mayhall.
Lee Mayhall, a Jackson native, is honored for his accomplishments as a football player at the University of North Alabama and as a 3-sport all-state athlete at University School of Jackson. He proved that attitude, speed, and quickness can often overcome the lack of size on the football field. He was 5'9", 160 pounds at USJ, and topped out at 185 pounds at UNA. Being smaller, I always felt I had to prove something to myself, Mayhall said. I never felt like I had arrived, but I believe I could control 3 things: give a great effort, having a good attitude, and having fun. It paid off in the long run. At USJ, he was an all-state football selection for 3 years, playing safety on defense and slot receiver and running back on offense for Coach Mickey Marley. Mayhall used his quickness and speed to score 42 touchdowns his senior season, the most by an individual among TSSAA schools in 2011. He had 2,740 all-purpose yards, scored 252 points, including 18 touchdown receptions, and made 73 tackles that season. He was the Jackson Sun Player of the Year in 2011 and served as a team captain his last 2 seasons. He broke 3 state records his senior year: most receptions in a game with 21, most receptions in a season at 116, and most receptions in a state title game. He was the defensive most valuable player in the Division II Class A state championship game. Mayhall was a catcher and center fielder on the baseball team and an all-state selection. He was the leadoff hitter and batted .411 with 64 hits and 48 runs scored in his senior season. He was a point guard on the basketball team and led the team in assists and steals while making All-State as a senior. He had a 4.2 GPA at USJ and wanted to continue his football career in college, but few schools were interested because of his size. Amazingly, it was a water skiing video that his father had posted on YouTube that drew most attention from North Alabama's head coach. Mayhall was on a 75% scholarship and almost last on the depth chart among the 30 receivers when he arrived at UNA. But he wound up starting the last 4 games his freshman season and was awarded a full scholarship and became a 4-year starter at slot receiver. He was a major contributor on 3 Gulf South Conference championship teams. His senior season in 2015, he was selected USA College NCAA All-America First Team, All-Gulf South Conference, and team captain. He was a 3-time academic All-GSC First Team pick and a member on the UNA All-Decade team. He was an academic All-America twice, graduating with a 3.9 GPA and a double major in chemistry and industrial hygiene. Mayhall met his wife Whitney at UNA. They've been married for 5 years and have a year-old daughter, Revi. They live in Florence, Alabama, where he's employed by United Launch Alliance Engineering, a subsidiary of Boeing Lockheed Martin Aerospace. Please welcome 2023 inductee, Lee Mayhall.
It's a quiet walk up here. Hey, my name is Lee Mayhall, and I just feel incredibly honored by all these great men and all these great women who've come before me, and just to be so young and to be just up here with all these guys. I'm just like, and up here with Patrick, and so many of my coaches that I played for were inducted in the Hall of Fame, and teacher Don Newman, I see him right there. Just some incredible people, and so I just want to say thank you to the board. I'm beyond grateful for choosing me for this great honor. Really, growing up, seeing these heroes of mine, even Patrick, great players and coaches being inducted in this into the Hall of Fame. I always admired the honor, but never really considered myself as somebody who would attain to it. And so I just want to, reiterate that I'm very thankful. And I want to say a special thanks to my mom. Well, my wife, Whitney, right here, of 5 years. I really wanted to bring my daughter, but I think she would have showed out too much. So my wife of 5 years, Whitney, I want to say a special thanks to my mom, Penny, who supported, loved me, and carted me to every practice and every game. And every single year, she gave me the opportunity to not play sports. And I'm like, because she didn't want me to burn out. And y'all will find out why in a minute. But I was like, no, I got to play. And to my big sister, Victoria, who's always been my biggest supporter and my biggest role model, thank you so much. She was like a second mom to me. And then to my dad, Shannon, who's on stage with me. He was my first coach and basically acted as my personal agent. You see all these crazy videos up here. That's all. He's just done everything. And I really, a lot of his efforts really helped me get into college. And so from a very early age, he had me in the backyard taking handoffs, catching punts, pulling iron sleds, basically from the time I could play tackle football or really since I could walk. So I'm really surprised that my mom didn't call child services. And I think he's a big reason why she thought I was going to burn out, because sometimes I would even be the point of tears, like, I don't want to practice anymore. But really, looking back on it, he just saw so much potential in me from an early age, and I'm just incredibly grateful for your investment, Dad. And I want to look to some of my middle school coaches, Coach Edgar Willis, He was my middle school football coach, and then Coach Joe North, who's a Hall of Fame inductee. He was my middle school basketball coach. And these guys, they demanded hard-nosed, perseverant players, and they really started to build my confidence as an athlete from an early age. And I want to say a special thanks to Coach Mickey Marley, my high school football coach, and Coach Bill Hardigree, who was our defensive coordinator. They're just tremendous coaches, mentors, friends of mine, members of the Hall of Fame. And I really admire Coach Marley because he treated every player the same, no matter their skill level. He treated us all the same. And I really respected that. And no matter how good you were, he never let you know it. It was just, he never let you think that you had arrived. And so, like, no matter how many touchdowns you scored, you always dreaded the film room. If he had the clicker in his hand, it was like, okay, he's going to find something wrong about me in this game. We all hated going to film. But he pushed us to our limits, and he got excellence out of us. And I really appreciate that, Coach. And I'd like to say thanks to some of my friends over here who contributed, and then Coach Brad Dyer, high school baseball coach, and then also Coach Ronnie Giddens over here. He helped with our baseball, and then Coach Tommy Russell, who was my high school basketball coach. And these guys really demanded like high character, mental toughness, and preparedness, and really taught me how to play the game out of my mind. And I think it really helped me prepare for college football. And then to my college coaches, Coach Bobby Wallace and Coach Cody Gross, for giving me an opportunity to prove myself, starting out last on the depth chart at wide receiver, and then being able to end up starting my last 4 games. I was really fortunate to do that, and then to also play on 3 conference championship teams, and just play with a lot of great players who accomplished a lot of great things, and even some players who moved on to the next level. And beyond that, I just want to thank God for my health through all my years of playing 3 sports. I think I only missed 2 games my entire life. And just for the abilities to play these amazing games of football, basketball, and baseball. And I just want to tell you a quick story of, how God began to transform my life when I was in college. He transformed the way that I saw him, myself, and the world around me. He began to teach me about my identity in him. And, growing up, I grew up in church, but it was really easy. I started to, put my identity in things like what people thought about me, how my performance was. And so I really began to think of myself of like, if I do good, I'm loved. And if I don't, then I'm not loved as much. And it's just an endless trap because you can never have enough affirmation. And God began to reveal this in me as a sense of pride and began to show me his love for me and what he says about me. And starting to understand this truth and embrace it helped me start a journey of relinquishing anxiety and fears related to performance, and really started a path for me to just enjoying the game and having fun while doing it. And so my motto ended up becoming what I wanted to live by was like, if I can have a great attitude, great effort, and have lots of fun, this would honor God. And then he'll, the end of the day, whatever happens with the performance is what happens. I gave my all. And after college, I was blessed to be a founder of a nonprofit ministry in Florence, Alabama called Common Ground Shoals. And our mission is to affirm dignity, inspire hope, and multiply Christ-like leaders among youth in the margins. And our vision really is to connect resources and opportunities for these youth to flourish in their God-given gifts and abilities. And so we focus on academics, sports, and spiritual development. And I've really loved being able to pour into these young children and teach them about discipline, perseverance, attitude, and ultimately enjoying God in everything they do. And I think it's a testament to all of the men and women in my life through school and my parents and my coaches who have poured their lives into me. And it's an amazing thing to be able to pour that back out. And so I just want to thank you all, and thanks again for this great honor.
Our next inductee comes from a family that I've heard their name my entire life here. So it's a large family. I'm pretty old. But some of them are older, some of them are younger. But the name has always been synonymous with sports, particularly baseball. Let's meet Tim Sikes.
A Jackson native, Tim Sikes is honored for his accomplishments as a baseball player at Union University and a three-sport athlete at Northside High School. He was only 5 years old when he served as Union's bat boy and got his first taste of baseball shenanigans. But he couldn't have known he would eventually play shortstop for those same Union Bulldogs and become one of the school's all-time best hitters with a .326 career batting average. His senior season in 1978, Sikes had a .408 batting average and hit .500 with runners in scoring position. He was a 4-year starter at Union. I really enjoyed playing short, Sikes said. I did it from the time I was 10 years old. When he was 12 in 1968, he helped the Dixie youth team win a state championship and advance to the Dixie World Series in Florida. And in August of 1974, he helped Jackson American Legion team win a state championship in Manchester. Jackson beat Chattanooga Eastridge for the championship 8-5 in 14 innings. That week was one of my greatest experiences in baseball. You don't win a state championship like that every year. At Northside High School, the 5'10", 145-pound Sikes was the starting shortstop for 3 years in baseball, and as a senior, helped the team win the district for the first time. He played point guard on the basketball team for 3 years and earned a job on the football team his last 2 years. He was team captain and played safety on defense, receiver and running back on offense, and returned kickoffs, averaging 15 yards a return. He averaged 7.1 yards per carry as a running back and 12 yards per catch as a receiver. I really enjoyed football, he said, but folks weren't lined up to offer me any scholarships for football, so I played baseball. After college, he coached Babe Ruth and American Legion baseball teams for about 7 years. Sikes, 67, has worked in sales since college graduation and has been with Associated Packaging Incorporated for the past 30 years. Sikes has a son, Tim Sikes II, and a granddaughter, Millie. Please welcome 2023 inductee, Tim Sikes.
Okay, I thought I was last. I didn't know. I thought it was alphabetical, but I'm sorry. Anyway, it's a lot of good people out here tonight, and I'm really happy to see so many of my friends. It's really cool. And I want to thank the board. I appreciate this. Great honor, great honor. So, I don't have the time to go into a lot of detail about thanking so many people. I played ball all my life. I see friends, former teammates, Wayne. I see guys that I've coached before, Mark Johnson, Giddens. They're all over. But anyway, what I'd like to say is Johnny Growe, he's a former teammate. Tommy Sadler, former teammate. It's a room full of folks. So all I'd like to do is say thank you to all these people, coaches, players, teammates, all these people that I've dealt with for all these years, and I want to say thank you. What I can do is recognize, excuse me, some of my family and some of my friends that are here tonight. And I'd like to start with my son, Tim Sikes. He was an outstanding ball player himself. And his wife, Katie, and their daughter, Millie, my granddaughter, who would be up here dancing, I'm sure, if they weren't holding her. So that's a good thing. Next, I have my brother Bud, his wife, Leela, their son, Trey, daughter, Linda, Trey is here with his wife, Kelly, and daughter, Mallory. And Linda is here with her fiance, Matt. And then I see my brother, David, and his wife, Suzanne, my brother, Phil, and my sister, Carol. I think as far as I can see, I've had to doctor up this paper all night, so. But I got a lot of friends here too tonight, and I don't want to leave any out. So let's see. Steve Patterson, longtime friend, goes back to Union days. Excellent man. And then we have former teammate, Freddie Hill. We were teammates on many, many teams throughout the years, and he is here with Donna Perdue. Lifetime friend, Roy Morgan. Roy's here with his wife, Jackie. Roy and I had been friends since, gosh, I was like 2 years old. He and his family have been wonderful friends for me and my family for all these many years. Excellent people. Then I've got my good friend, Jimmy Leach. Jimmy Leach is here with his wife, Angela. Thank you. I've got, I saw Rick Webb here. He was another former teammate from Union days. And we had a former coaching partner, Kenny Fitzgerald. Kenny and I coached in the Babe Ruth League together for many, many years. I saw Jeff Bain. I don't know where he ended up. I saw Bain. Glad you're here. And who I saw? Wayne, got that. Okay. I had a lot of people ask me whether or not I had anything that I could share. Well, a lot of stuff, no, I can't. But a lot, maybe some I can. One was when they said, did you have any guidelines or any thing that kind of led you to where you were or helped you along your way? And I do remember when we were at Union, we had our baseball coach when I was a freshman gave us a booklet, a playbook basically. It's full of diagrams and situations, and that's about what it was. And it was straight out of the Dodger handbook. Okay, we understood it. But what I recall was the front cover of this was the school mascot, who at that time was Buster Bulldog, not the macho bulldog they have now, but it was a different, kind of a human-like type dog who stood on hind legs. So anyway, on the cover, Buster is standing there in his Union baseball outfit, and above his head in the balloon, the simple words, it says, "No one has ever drowned in sweat." Okay, well, 18, I'm thinking, okay, that's kind of cornbread, but that's okay, we got it. So we understood it, and but what I have learned that, of course, all he meant was work hard, and you're not going to drown in your own sweat, that type of thing. But throughout the years, it has meant more and more because it fits everything you do. It really became a good motto because the harder I worked, the more I could achieve. And so that's basically it. It was simple, but it was honest. And that's what we lived with. So my time is short, and I don't want to stay here. So what I would like to do is thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I'm very, very grateful. This is a wonderful event. It's something I'll always remember and cherish. And I'd like to say this, that I owe so much to so many. So let's always be grateful, and God bless, and thank you.
Our next inductee went away to college with one type of course in life that he thought he was going to do, and after the first year, he changed his major. Let's meet Tommy Sadler, and we'll find out.
Tommy Sadler, a Madison County native, is honored for his contributions to local sports while working 38 years at Union University, the last 15 as Director of Athletics. Born in Meaden, he was raised in the Madison Hall community on Riverside Drive near Bemis. He attended J.B. Young Elementary School and Southside High School, graduating in 1972. Voted Best Pitcher his senior season at Southside in 1972, he was a strong competitor on the mound, but received only 2 letters of interest from colleges. One of those was from a barber college, Sadler said, laughing, and I don't remember who the other one was from. He wound up at Union University because his Sunday school teacher, Dr. Maggie Brewer, was the dean of students at Union, and she urged him to give it a try. Nobody in my family had ever been to college, and we sure didn't have any money, Sadler said. I never even thought about college, but I came to Union to be a preacher and a major in religion. I got some scholarship money from preaching at youth revivals and pitching the baseball team. It wasn't long before I changed majors. Sadler played for 3 head coaches in 4 seasons at Union, the last one being David Blackstock, who later became his boss. A right-hander with a decent curveball, Sadler pitched 25 of 30 games his junior season in 1975. He was voted most valuable player on the team and best pitcher. I had a rag arm and I could pitch all day, Sadler said. I once came in as a reliever in the 3rd inning against Austin Peay and finished that game. Then I pitched all of the 2nd game of that doubleheader. At Union, he majored in history and minored in English and journalism, graduating in 1976. He earned his Master of Education in 1981 from the University of Memphis. He was working full-time in advertising at the Jackson Sun in 1985 when Union offered him a job as Director of Public Relations. He never dreamed he was beginning a 38-year career at the school. After 1 year, he spent the next 10 as a fundraiser for Union. Then he transitioned to a newly created position as Associate Director of Athletics, working under David Blackstock, who had become his mentor and his best friend. He held that job for 15 years before succeeding Blackstock as Director of Athletics in 2008. He helped Union add 7 sports, beginning with softball in 1995, and helped plan and raise funds for the school's present baseball, softball, and soccer stadiums and the Festmeyer Fieldhouse. Sadler led Union through the 3-year membership transition back to NCAA after 40 years of NAIA membership. He was the baseball liaison director for the Gulf South Conference for 8 years, served on the NCAA Regional Baseball Advisory Committee for 5 years. He served 4 years on the NCAA Division II National Baseball Championship Committee, one of those as chair, and was the NCAA site representative for 3 region tournaments. He also served as president for the Trans-South Athletic Conference for 12 years and was named the Conference Athletic Director of the Year in 2009 and 10. Sadler plans to retire in May. I'll take a little time off and see where the Lord leads me, he said. I just know that I've been blessed by God, who put a lot of wonderful people in my path to help me, Sadler said. They saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and I owe them so much. A lot of it might not have happened if Blackstock wasn't my best friend. God had his hand on me for sure. Please welcome 2023 inductee, Tommy Sadler.
To the members of the Hall of Fame Board, past inductees, my fellow inductees, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to congratulate each of you on this stage with me tonight for your tremendous accomplishments. As Tim mentioned, I had the privilege of be his teammate for 2 years at Union. He was an outstanding player and a great teammate and been a great friend for a number of years. And Coach Growe, I've known him. I don't remember when I didn't know him, but he probably remembers some of the games I umpired for him at Southside, and maybe not fondly. But first and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. These people, you've seen the videos, they are so awesomely talented. Some of you think the 69 Mets was the last miracle God had in mind. Well, me being on his stage is the next one, maybe. It's beyond my wildest imagination that you can go from a house that you can see the cracks, the dirt through the floor, and a wood tin heater and no indoor bathroom to this stage. But that tells you the greatness of God. I couldn't do this without myself and without God's help and a lot of great people in between who saw things in me that I did not see in myself. The day that they lay me to rest, I hope they play that old Dottie Rambo song. He looked beyond my fault and saw my needs, because my faults have been many, but God has been gracious enough to meet all of my needs. My father was illiterate. He could write his name. He never attended school. But he taught me things you can't learn in a book, and that's work ethic. I was the run of the litter. Maybe you saw in a couple of those pictures, Tim and Andy Rushing could testify how skinny I was. And I used to tell my mother all the time, I just can't do this. I can't play with the bigger boys. I'm the small. And her phrase, and country folks will understand this, can't never did anything. And I still remember that every time that I think about an accomplishment is too big for me, that she told me can't, never did anything. The lyrics to the song Mama by El Devo begins with these words: Mama, thank you for who I am, and thank you for all the things I'm not. I hope she's looking down from heaven today and that I've made her proud. There's some folks at my table over here I would like to mention tonight. It's been mentioned about my relationship with Coach Blackstock. His wife, Armida, and his daughter, Dixie, are here. He started out as my coach, became my mentor, and ended up being one of my best friends. We had lunch together almost every day for 30 years. Get to know somebody pretty good, and that's why I'm twice the man I was in that picture. When Coach Blackstock got sick, I told him that, don't worry about it, I'll take care of your wife and daughter, and it turns out they're the ones taking care of me. They call me almost every day, they text me every day, they check on me. When I go to the doctor, they check on me, and I hope you both know how much I love and care about you, and how thankful that I am that you're part of my family and still in my life. My brother Bill is here tonight. There were 9 of us. There's 2 of us left, the 2 that are here. Since I can remember as a young child, he was my hero. He can fix anything, build anything, make anything, repair anything. I can talk. I guess you know who got the short end of that stick. My daughter Jenny is the one who gave him my coat here, and her husband Dean, and my grandsons Eli and Sadler are here. A little over 30 years ago, I had a brain tumor. And at that time, Jenny was a little girl, and I asked God, I said, God, if you'll let me live long enough to walk my daughter down the aisle and give her to a godly man, it'd be okay. And God answered that prayer. Thank you, Dean, for being that man. And should God call me home tomorrow, I hope all of you here would say God's been faithful in my life because he answered my prayer. You know, I had to have a bunch of pages because when you get old, you can't read. It's like in 40-point print up here. Sadler and Eli, you are the apples of my eye, and I hope you boys know how much I love you. Those 2 are ballers. They love to play ball every day, every sport you can do, and they're young. There's another guy here, Andy Rushing. Andy and I were freshmen in the fall of 1972 at Union. And it's been an honor for me to call him my friend for 50-something years now. But there is a story that some people don't believe, but this is a true story. As a relief pitcher, I would come in, and I didn't remember what game this started until I found a newspaper clipping in this. We was playing the College of Worcester, and I come into the game, and bases are loaded, and the coach puts me in. There's a 3-ball and 1-strike count already on the batter. So I get my warm-up pitches, and Andy trots out to the mound, and he says, you want to throw the fastball and let them drive it in, or the curveball and walk them in? I I will tell you, since there are children here, that God's worked on me a lot of years, and my reply to him, I cannot repeat here tonight. But he did know what button to push for me. And as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of that story is I threw 2 pitches and struck the batter out, and the Bulldogs won. So there is some good to that. When I came to Union as a student, I'd never been on another college campus. As they mentioned in the video, I got 2 letters, and one of them was from a barber school in Memphis. I won't be able to do your hair because I turned that down. They told me I didn't know anything about what to do at college. I just showed up over there one day, and they had me registering, and I didn't know what I was doing. Ended up my whole life basically in a college. They said I should get a Bachelor of Arts degree because I told them I didn't like math and science. And they said you had to have 2 years of foreign language, and they listened to me talk for a while, and they signed me up for English. But if you take God out of the equation in my life, I can't figure out why people like Bob Agee, who's here tonight, Jim Swope, who's in this Hall of Fame, David Blackstock, Betty Follinger, Larry Stewart, Maggie Nell Brewer, who was mentioned with the Dean of Students. The only reason I went to college, she encouraged me. I don't know why any of those chose to pour into my life. To this day, I can't figure that out. Because surely they had a bunch of people. They all worked in college. There were students there every day. Why me? But I'm very grateful for that because they chose me. They saw something in me I did not see in myself. I could not see that vision, Patrick, any further than that because I had never been there. I didn't know what to expect. And I'm very grateful to each of those for, it's been life-changing for my family for what they poured into me and later led me to college and to teach and coach and then come back to college as an administrator. My secretary, Teresa Thomas, is here somewhere. For 20-something years, she's got me where I'm supposed to go. One of the best things is she keeps people away from me I don't want to see. Mostly salesmen. I'm deeply grateful for her loyalty and her friendship over the years. I have other coaches and staff here tonight, and some I've been with a number of years. What a blessing I've been given to work with you each day, and thank each of you for making my job very easy. Grantland Rice said, when the great scorer comes to write against your name, it won't be whether you won or lost, but how you played the game. In the end, I hope I played the game well, not only as a teammate, but as a coworker. For you young people here tonight, I want to leave you with this. I was never the best athlete on any team I played. I wasn't even the best. Union's had 2 athletic directors in 50 years, and I'm the second best. They've only had 2. But you don't have to be the person getting the headlines. You don't have to be the best athlete on your team. What you have to do is you have to figure out what gift God gave you, and you hone that gift, and you work at it, and you try to be excellent at it, and you play the string that you're given, and God will bless you. My daughter, who gave me my jacket over here, I hope she knows she's a wonderful wife and mother, and I hope she knows how much I love her. And she's been, I only had one child, it's the only one I could afford. She likes shoes and clothes, and so that was it. But she's been a wonderful blessing to my life. And but most of all tonight, I'm here to give glory to God for what He's done in my life and the blessings that He's given me through people. There's so many people in this room that I know that I either played with or coached with or play golf with or go to Bible study with. And all of those things, and I'd be here 3 hours, and I think they gave me 3 minutes. But in the end, I want to say, give all glory to God. And I thank this organization for giving me this great honor, and thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Tommy. And as you noticed tonight, we are recording this for insert play on E+ TV 6 here in Jackson, broadband by JEA. e+6.com. You can find information on when it's going to air if you'd like to check that out. All right, to the class of 2023, you are formally inducted into the Jackson-Madison County Sports Hall of Fame. Let's give them a round of applause. I'd like to say good night, God bless, and drive safely.